let's get back to it. So what I was telling y'all is this. Listen. When you pray, man, understand that there's a motherly energy and a fatherly energy that's responsible for you being here. I know you've been brainwashed on that shit. I know y'all know why that we're taught. Y'all know why we're taught to see God through the eyes of the Father. For the same reason that they taught y'all that Eve made Adam do something against God. Ain't that what they taught y'all? They taught y'all that the woman is the reason why everything is wrong in the world. She convinced Adam to defy God. Guys, they've been mistreating women to this day based off of that. Do you know how badly women are treated in the Middle East, in them religions, in Islam and in Christianity? Man, they treat them women badly, man. They treat them women badly, or historically they have. And it's all based on this idea. What's up, Sher? We got the young God in the building. Much love, my brother. Much love. It's all based off of these misinterpretations. It's all based off of that. So this is the same reason they taught you to see God through the eyes of a man, because they want, this is man trying to raise himself to a level where he says, I'm over everybody else. I'm over women. I'm over everything. It is me, then it's God. But no, it's not. It's man and woman here, and then there's God here. We here together. Okay? How many dudes out here want to live in a world without women? Give me a 5 in the chat. If you a man and you want to live in a world without women, give me a 5 in the chat. I don't expect to see no 5s. I don't expect to see no 5s. I don't expect to see no 5s. Because I know damn well I don't want to live in a world without women. Absolutely need them. Okay? So let's stop. Let's understand the power in the feminine. Okay? In order to properly respect God, you got to respect the divine feminine and the divine masculine. They come together and they make a perfect harmony. Do y'all understand that? That's harmonic balance. The divine feminine, the divine masculine. They come together to create life. We are the manifestation of these entities coming together. Okay? So don't forget that, guys. All right? So when you're giving thanks, just say, hey man, thank you to the motherly, to the heavenly mother. Thank you to the heavenly father. Thank you to the creator of all. Thank you to the universe. That's how I speak. Okay. But you will never hear me say amen. You'll never hear me give it to amen. All right. Okay. So like I say, if you want to learn the truth, you come tap in with Chief Kuttah so I can explain these things. You're not going to get this information from nobody else. Before I move on into the tablets, I want y'all to know something. Y'all do know that every discovery is going to have a first. Somebody's going to be somebody who discovers something first, right? It is hard for people to comprehend or fathom that I'm breaking anything new, right? But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking information that was given to me, and I've taken that information to the next level, and I'm giving new perspective and new insight to old information. So this information about the Anunnaki, I remember the girl was talking about, man, anybody can go learn about the Anunnaki, not to this level. If you can go buy all the Anunnaki books you want to, and then they're going to tell you about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It ain't going to tell you about magnetism and electricity being the two components that created consciousness, and consciousness being God. It ain't going to tell you about that. It ain't going to tell you about that. It ain't going to tell you about the Lyrans. It ain't going to tell you about the what the bird people call. I forgot the bird people. Give me the bird people name. The Carians. It ain't going to tell you about the Lyrans. It ain't going to tell you about the Carians. I was going to say avians too. You know what it is, Trey Dub? They are avians. All right. The name of them are Carians, but the Carians are avians. That's what a bird is. A bird is an avian. So big shout out to my brother Trey Dub. Yeah, I was about to say avian too. Shit. Y'all know I get caught up now. I smoke a little tree now. I'm gonna need my class to bag me up. This is why I be telling y'all I need y'all to roll with me. Because there gonna be times where I'm gonna need the class to back me up. All right. So shout out to y'all. But You can go read all the Anunnaki books you want to, guys. I ain't going to tell you none of this shit that I done taught you. I swear to God. Because what I'm trying to show y'all is I took the book. The book is only a portion of what I teach. The book is only a portion of it. The rest of it is my understanding. The rest of it is all the dots I connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man, come on, man. You can't find it, bro. You have to do some real high level research to find the type of shit that I've been able to find. All right? So, yeah, man, big shout out to all y'all, man. We finna do this thing. So, Amen-Ra declared himself God to the people of Egypt. He told them he had the power to extend their life after death, right? And he wrote a book explaining the processes. This book was called, somebody tell me, what was this book called that explained the process of life after death? Somebody give me the answer. What was the book called that explained the process of life after death? Who got it? Come on, G. Star students in the building. Yes, yes. Miss G. J. Sween on top of it. Kanayo, it's the Book of the Dead, my brother. In Egyptology, they have something called the Book of the Dead. This Book of the Dead explains the process of the afterlife. Mummification, from the mummification process to the walk into the underworld. Okay? And so that Book of the Dead was a complete finessing. Okay? He completely lied to them people. He never had the ability to return nobody from the dead. And he didn't have the ability to extend your life beyond death. Okay? But what Marduk was doing, guys, I think at the end of the day, what I think he was doing was just straight up, if anything, they was just shipping people to Nibiru. Like I told y'all, right? You just send them to Nibiru. If you take a motherfucker off this planet to another world, you're going to think you in heaven, right? And when you get to Nibiru, you're going to see what? Everywhere. Gold. Everywhere. You're going to see gold and crystal everywhere. It's going to look just like what you would think heaven would look like. It's going to look just like what you think heaven would look like. I'm trying to tell you. Because Nibiru is heaven. That's another discovery that I made that ain't nobody else never say. Nobody, not Billy Carson, not Zachariah Sitchin. Nobody never said that Nibiru was the actual symbolic heaven. Nibiru is the symbolic heaven. There is no place called heaven. It's Nibiru that they was explaining. Because if you go to Nibiru, they used so much gold and they took so much gold from the earth, they didn't start paving the roads on Nibiru with gold. Okay? So the roads on Nibiru are paved with gold. Sounds just like heaven. Right? Or the place you think exists. And we gotta stop doing that because we be talking about shit. We ain't never been to no place called heaven, so we can't say what it is. So I'm saying it very well may be Nibiru. Just as well it may be what you think. I'm willing to bet that it's Nibiru. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, I'm willing to bet money that I'm right. I'm willing to bet money that I'm right. All right? So Aben declared himself as God, proclaimed himself to have the ability to extend life. This was not true. Okay? So you needed to see that. Also, we got Inanna. We finna get back to Inanna. So it's clear to y'all that Inanna is a sexual deity and that she's just a little spoiled, rotten brat, right? She's more concerned with coveting land that she don't own as opposed to paying attention to the land that she do own, right? So, you about to start seeing Inanna basically convince men to do things that they shouldn't do, right? She's going to use her feminine wiles. And she's going to be convincing men to do things that they shouldn't do. All right? So let's get into this thing, man. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got here. In the second region, diversity by Ra was not permitted. Alone to reign, he wished. Okay? The eldest of heaven, firstborn who is on earth, thus, by the priest to be known, he wanted. Okay? He wanted to be known as the firstborn on earth. He wanted to be known as the only God. It's only him, nobody else. The foremost from the earliest times. So he decreed in the hymns to be called. Y'all hear that? He decreed in the hymns. Ain't the hymns what y'all got in the Bible? Huh? Hymns, aren't they prayers? Ain't that what we call prayers, hymns? Y'all talk to me, talk to me. No, I'm asking for real. We call prayer, ain't that what they call prayers, hymns? The foremost from the earliest times, so he decreed in the hymns to be called. Okay, a hymn of praise. A hymn in music. What is a hymn? Okay, it's a religious song. Listen to this. Y'all ready? Now, it didn't show up, Jay Swing. It didn't even show up. It says it's a religious song or poem of praise to God or a God. So what it is it's a religious song or poem. It ain't necessarily just music. It's a religious song or poem or scripture. A religious song, poem, or scripture of praise to God or a God. Now watch this. The example is a Hellenistic hymn to Apollo. Y'all don't even know how significant that is. The example is a Hellenistic hymn to Apollo. A Hellenistic hymn is a hymn from the time of Helen, like Helen of Troy. Okay, a Hellenistic hymn to Apollo. Guys, guess who Apollo is? Guess who Apollo is? Come, guess who Apollo is, huh? Come on now. Guess who Apollo is? There you go. There you right. Both of y'all are right. That's Ra. Marduk. Amen Ra. He's Apollo. Apollo is the sun god. Apollo is the sun god, is he not? Does he not chase the sun on his chariot? Come on now. That's why that's why this stuff has to be taught, so people can understand these connections. Okay? So all I want y'all to know is, listen, Ra as a god didn't just go away. So for anybody that want to feel like, man, no, man, that dude ain't God. No, he did not just go away. This stayed in history. It ain't like time went on and people forgot who Amun Ra was. No, Amun Ra just became Apollo. Amun Ra became Zeus. Then he became Jesus. Okay, that's what y'all need to know, man. Listen, tap in with your brother Chief Kuttah. I teach you the real truth. I believe in the true God. I am not against God. I'm a man of God. I'm a soldier. I'm a warrior for God. But y'all need to know the truth, man. I keep telling y'all, if Satan is as real as they say he is, and if he opposes the Most High, wouldn't his greatest trick be to make y'all think that y'all worshiping God when the whole time you not? Think about that. People be walking around this motherfucker like, it's almost like, yeah, you know, Satan real, but he ain't real. You know what I'm saying? No, it's one of the, is he either real or he ain't. And if he real, then his job was to confuse you. Okay? That's what his job was. If he real, his job was to confuse you. You don't think you living in confusion right now? You don't think you living in confusion right now? Okay, go look at the original day. Go look at the early days of man and look at the days now. Do we not have men that wish to be women and women that wish to be men? Is that not confusion? Is that not chaos? Do we not have children killing? Do we not have children running around here committing murders? That ain't confusion and chaos. Let me just ask y'all before I move on. Does this world, if we say God is a God of love and compassion, understanding, wisdom, togetherness, harmony, things of this nature, right? And we say the devil represents chaos, confusion, anger, hatred, negativity. Which one of those perfectly describes the world we live in today? Would you say today the world we live in today is harmonious, balanced, full of love, full of compassion? Or would you say it's negative, evil, full of anger, hatred, vitriol? Which one? Number one is positive. Number two is negative. Which one is the world we living in today? One is positive. Two is negative. Which one is an accurate depiction of the world we live in today? One is a positive world. Two is a negative world. Which one? Okay, Flaming Star says she lives in a positive world, very positive world. Okay, well, I just seen a 12-year-old shoot a 14-year-old. Okay, so whatever world you live in, I would love to be in that world. But in the world I live in, we see. Oh, okay, I thought I was gonna say I ain't know, because if you feel like it's positive out this, I be seeing some terrible things. I be seeing some terrible things out here in this world, right? So what I want y'all to understand is this. Listen to this. Listen to this. We got to stop lying to ourselves. Okay? Let's stop lying to ourselves. Okay? God is real. Satan is real. Okay? What I try to do for people is try to teach you, give you a better understanding of what God is. Okay? Like I say, that takes an entire class if you want to understand what God is. Okay? But like I say, when we talk about this character, Satan, it does not have power like God. He opposes God. He wants to be God, okay? So his duty was to keep you thinking that you were worshiping God when the whole time you were going against everything that God wanted you to do. So I ask you, as you Christians go and pray on Sunday to the Son God, you think you really worshiping the right God? Okay. Keep telling yourself that. When Satan go do his job? Because Christians walking around here, Christians walk around like, oh, Satan go do this 1,000 years from now. You know, Satan ain't gonna start working his magic to maybe 2,000 or 3,000 years from now. No, baby, he working that magic right now. You living in that magic. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. That's why there's a scripture in Matthew. There's a scripture in Matthew that talks about depart from me, ye who does iniquity. Where they say God is saying, depart from me. I don't know you. You never worship me. And the man says, haven't I prophesied in thy name? Haven't I cast out demons in thy name? God say, depart from me. You ain't never knew me. That's real. Because I be trying to tell y'all, you need to understand the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. You need to understand what the difference is. The New Testament is when Yeshua was contacted by like a galzoo. Yeshua had a galzoo moment. That's what I want y'all to know about. We're going to talk about it in the class in the true story of Yeshua. He had a galzoo moment. He had an archangel that came down and that gave him the agenda. Okay? And that's when Yeshua started to preach against the Israelite God, which is Enlil. Okay? So we're going to get into all that. I want y'all to know that. Like, it's for real. That's why I keep telling y'all, you know, I don't want y'all to be misled. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, you know, if folks would listen to my message and be like, man, he trying to talk some devil stuff. No, I'm not. I'm trying to save you from the fucking devil. I'm trying to save you because you going to church every Sunday thinking you worshiping God. My nigga, you worshiping that boy Satan, that boy Marduk. That's who you worshiping every week. Every week. You taking money in church thinking you going to give money. You're going to get a root of all evil to God. What God need with your money? God, are you kidding me? You think that energy that is the Most High needs your paper fucking money? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You done let these white folks fuck your mind up so bad that you think that this paper money means something beyond this earth. Nah, man. When y'all be talking about tithing, how many people did you help this week? I don't give a fuck how much money you put in church. How many people did you literally help? You know, with your own effort. See, it's easy to give somebody money. It's easy to do that. Would you get your ass up and go actually do something with your effort? Would you go and help build a house for somebody who needed a home? You know, I was in a grocery store today, and my son was with me, and this elderly woman needed some help. And I helped the woman, you know what I'm saying? Whatever she needed. I asked her, I said, ma'am, if you don't mind, if you would like, I'll go around the store with you. And if anything you need to reach out, mind. She said, no, I'm good. This is all I needed. And my son was so impressed. And I told my son, I said, this is the way we behave. Anytime you see somebody, especially an elderly woman, needs some help, you help her. That's the way we honor God. Not by your fucking money. The money is the tool we need to use to fight against this evil. We need to use money so we can buy land, so we can build on the land, so we can train on the land. That's what we need to be using our money for, not be trying to buy our way into heaven. You ain't buying your way into no place called heaven, homie. You're not. Okay? So use your money for something beneficial on earth and honor God in that way. Okay? So like I say, at the end of the day, gang, you've been misled, you've been lied to, and I'm trying to give you the truth. All right? So I would hope people wouldn't villainize me for trying to give them the truth. All right? I work very hard on building this research. Very hard, okay? So here we go. Let's move on. The foremost from the earliest times, so he decreed in the hymns to be called Lord of eternity, he who everlastingness has made, over all other gods presiding. Did y'all hear that? He said he number one, over all other gods. Who are the other gods? Enlil, Inanna, Ninurta. Many gods. I told you, man, you're dealing with multiple gods, man. Even in your Bible, you're dealing with multiple gods. You're dealing with the God of Genesis, and you're dealing with the God of Egypt. You're dealing with Enlil, and you're dealing with Amun-Ra in your Bible. Ain't that what Joshua said to the Israelites? Joshua, when the Israelites was trying to escape from Egypt, Joshua says, hey, are y'all going to worship the God of Israel, or y'all going to worship the God of Egypt? That means it was two gods, homie. And if it was two gods, they ain't have no God. Because ain't but one. Ain't but one. And that's the omnipotent. And that ain't no man. That ain't no man. Y'all got to quit thinking that the human form is the highest level of creation. It's not. Light is the highest level of creation. When you a light body is the highest level of creation. What is a light body? Is that not energy? Is it not pure energy? When people talk about a return to the source, when people talk about the soul following the light, don't go into the light, returning to the light, returning to the source. God is light. God is energy, not a man. Not a man. Energy. The most intelligent energy. Energy is highly intelligent. But the Most High is the most intelligent energy. Like I say, you're not gonna understand. Like you gotta be present in class if you want these understandings. You're not gonna get this shit nowhere else. You gotta be present in class for these understandings. For me to break it down. Okay? The System of God is posted on YouTube. You gotta go over my YouTube so you can watch the System of God class. I break all of this down in there. Okay? All right, let's move on. The one who is without equal, the great solitary and sole one. So did Marduk as Ra above all other gods and place himself. All right, so Ra placed himself above all others. As Enlil, I am for lordship and decrees. As Ninurta, I am for combat. As Adad, for lightning and thunder. As Nanar, for illuminating the night. All right, Nanar, the moon god, the crescent moon, Islam, Nanar, Allah. As Utu, I am Shamash. As Nergal over the lower world I reign. As Jibble the golden depths I know. As Negazita numbers in their count I command. The heavens my glory bespeak. So this is him just trying to say he got all the attributes of all the other Anunnaki gods. But the other Anunnaki don't call themselves gods. That's what you need to know. It's just Amun-Ra and Inanna wanted to be known as gods. By these proclamations, listen to this. Listen. By these proclamations, the Anunnaki leaders were greatly alarmed. You see what I'm saying? So put some respect on the Anunnaki name, dog. They're telling the true story. They saying, look, we ain't come down this motherfucker to pose as gods. But some of the people we brought with us ended up doing that. That's what they trying to tell you. Like, we didn't come down here to be y'all God. Just some of our people portrayed themselves as God to the earthlings. Okay? By these proclamations, the Anunnaki leaders were greatly alarmed. To their father Enki, the brothers of Marduk spoke. Nergal to Ninurta, their concerns conveyed. What has overpowered you? Enki said to his son. Unheard of are your pretensions. The heavens, my supremacy bespeak. Marduk, his father, answered. So when Marduk is saying the heavens, my supremacy bespeak, he's talking about the time of Aries coming around. Remember I told y'all, hold on, let me pull up the greater celestial calendar. Hold on. Worry. Okay. So this is the time period they are in at this point. They're in the time of Taurus. Okay? Taurus was getting ready to end for Aries. So this would be Marduk's time. They were still in the age of Taurus, but Marduk was like, oh, it's getting closer. We're getting closer to the time of Aries, which is going to be my time. He is the ram. He's allotted as the ram. Okay? The bull of heaven, Enlil's constellation, by his own offspring was slain. In the heavens, the age of the ram is my age. Okay? Remember I told y'all, everything the Anunnaki do is based off of constellation science. So you got to know, you got to be able to understand the constellations to understand how they decree certain things. When they delegate certain days for worship, festivals, it's all based off of the constellation science, okay? I'm going to do this again in another class as well and break this down to y'all as well. But basically, they're in a time of the bull, and the time of the bull is coming to an end and is about to begin the age of the ram, which is Amun-Ra's time, okay? I share that time with him. In the heavens, the age of the ram, my age is coming. Unmistakable, the omens are. In his abode in Eridu, the circle of the 12 constellations Enki examined. On the first day of spring, the beginning of the year, did y'all hear that? So now you know January 1st is not the first day of the year, guys. All right? January, matter of fact, I got this is a list of the old calendar. This is how the calendar used to be. This is in Latin. So you got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So the year would end in February and begin in March. Y'all see that? If you want to take a screenshot of that, this was the calendar we were supposed to be on. Okay? This come from a book from like the 1600s or something like that. Like 1624. So you see March as the first month of the year. Yeah, that's the spring equinox. Yeah, the spring equinox. Right? I'm telling you, man, that's why, hey, man, that's why this class is important, bro. They done lied to you about every damn thing. They lied to you about everything, okay? So if y'all want to get that screenshot, get that screenshot. This is the original calendar. The original calendar. On the first day of spring, the beginning of the year, sunrise was carefully observed. In the constellation star of the bull was the sun that day rising. In the constellation star of the bull was the sun that day rising. In the Bruki, in Urim, Enlil, and Nanar made the observations. In the lower world, where the instrument stations had begun, Nergal attested the results. Still remote was the time of the ram. The age of the bull of Enlil it still was. In his domains, Marduk in his assertions did not relent. By Nabu, he was assisted. So what y'all need to know right now, Marduk is being very impatient. He don't basically want to wait his turn. Y'all get what I'm saying? It ain't his turn. His turn is coming. He probably about a couple 100 years off, right? But he is saying, look, man, I've waited long enough. It's close enough to my time. I want it to be my time now, right? So he's been a thorn in everybody's side. To domains not his emissaries he sent. To the people that his time has come to announce. So now he's sending out emissaries to tell the people that is the age of Aries, right? You know, these primitive-minded ass people gonna believe anything, okay? So he's confusing the people. This is him confusing the people. To Ningazita, the Anunnaki leaders were appalled. How to teach the people to observe the skies. How to teach the people how to observe the skies. In his wisdom, stone structures Ningazita devised. Ninurta, Ishkur to erect them help. I'm going to read all that over because guess what they just talked about? The building of Stonehenge. I'm finna explain all that to y'all. We just read that, but I'm finna run it back. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that Stonehenge was an observatory. It was an observatory as well as an energy, energy harnessing place. Okay, so if you don't know what an observatory is, it's a place where you can chart the movements of the stars. Okay, an observatory is used to chart the positions of constellations and the movements of constellations. Okay. That's what an observatory is, okay? So they built Stonehenge to be able to predict certain constellations, certain just basically that's the gist of it, okay? So let me read this again. Let me show you how that worked. Hold on. So Marduk wanted to send emissaries to tell the people that his time is now, that the skies say that his time is now. Now, you could tell people that don't know. Like, if you don't know how to read the stars, you're going to believe whatever Marduk said. Y'all get what I'm saying? So when he's sending people to tell them folks, hey, it's the time of Ra, okay? It's the time of Ra. Right? So these people are not going to know any better because they don't know how to read the stars. Right? So Enlil says we need to teach the people how to read the stars so Marduk ain't able to fool them. Okay, so let me read it back to you. Still remote was the time of the ram. The age of the bull of Enlil it still was. In his domains, Marduk in his assertions did not relent. By Nabu, he was assisted. To domains not his, emissaries he sent. Okay, to domains not his. That means to lands that was not his, he sent emissaries. Okay, to tell the people that his time has come to announce. So he sent emissaries to these lands that were not his to tell those people that his time to come was here. To Ningazita, the Anunnaki leaders appealed. Okay, so the Anunnaki leaders appealed to Ningazita. They said, can you build us something to teach the people how to observe the skies? Okay, his brothers, Ninurta, Nergal, all of them got together. They say, Ningazita, help us build something for the people to observe the sky so the people can know what time it is. It says, in his wisdom, stone structures Ningazita devised. In his wisdom, stone structures Ningazita devised. Hold on, give me a second. To Ningazita, the leaders appealed how to teach the people to observe the skies. In his wisdom, stone structures Ningazita devised. Ninurta and Ishkur helped to erect them. Stone structures, guys. Come on, guys. We can't make this shit up. We can't make it up. Huh? We see these, we like, man, who put these big old hunk of rocks up? We don't realize that these hunk of rocks, this is quartz crystal. These big stone slide, this is quartz. These motherfuckers act like a computer. These motherfuckers act like an energy conductor. These ain't just no regular rocks. Matter of fact, regular rocks ain't no regular rocks. The Anunnaki got knowledge and science and understand the mineral components and the mineral, mineral components of these rocks. They know how to, use it for an energy source, an energy conductor. They know all of this stuff. Okay, do your research on Stonehenge, man. There you go. Just gave you, it's one thing to tell people who built the pyramids. Motherfuckers absolutely didn't know who built these. But there you go, Ningazita. With help from Ninurta. Oh, y'all don't even know how big of a piece of information that just was. That just also confirmed that them three was in South America together. Because didn't I tell y'all those were the three Anunnaki that was worshipped as gods over there? Quetzalcoatl. Right? Simply in the house. What's up, my sister? Quetzalcoatl, Viracocha, and Kukulkan. Come on now. There go the three right there. And it just told you them same three went on over here to help build this. Okay? Woo! I be having fun. Yeah, that's another little piece of information that I just validated for myself. In his wisdom, stone structures Ningazita devised, Ninurta and Ishkur helped to erect them. In the settled lands, near and far, the people how to observe the skies they taught. That the sun in the constellation of the bull was still rising. To the people they showed. Okay, so they taught the people how to read the constellations. Then they showed them that the sun was still in the house of the bull. Okay, that's how you know what age you in, by the sun. When the sun's light is rising in a specific constellation, that lets you know what era you in, what time you in. Okay. With sorrow did Enki these ongoing watch. How fate, the rightful order, twisted, he pondered. After the Anunnaki as gods declared themselves on mankind's support, they instead are dependent. Did y'all hear that? Ooh, shit. Did y'all hear that? After the Anunnaki declared themselves God on mankind's support, instead they are dependent. Somebody telling the truth on these folks, man. Man, Enki came out with the whole truth on these people. Enki ain't holding shit back. Listen to that. After the Anunnaki as gods declared themselves on mankind's support, they instead were dependent. Now let me ask y'all something. Y'all think the real God is dependent upon man, or is man dependent upon God? The real God don't need no help. The real God ain't dependent on us. So the Anunnaki must not be no gods if they need man. Duh. The Anunnaki use spaceships. God don't need no spaceship. Duh. So what you need to understand, they were not gods. They were men who lesser men did not understand. That's the relationship y'all need to understand. Y'all need to understand what it looks like when a highly advanced civilization reaches a primitive civilization. It didn't happen on Earth before. It happened recently on Earth. Go do your research on the cargo cult. CARGOCULT. Write that down and Google that tonight. Do your research on the cargo cult. Cargo cult is something that took place in the 1950s, the 1940s, somewhere in the mid-40s, between the mid-40s and 50s, during World War II. A plane crash landed in the Pacific Islands, somewhere in some remote Pacific Islands, okay? These people, when this plane crash landed, these people had never contacted civilization. They had never even seen a white man. They had never seen nobody but their own people. They had ain't nowhere near no damn plane. They ain't never seen a car, much less a fucking plane, okay? So imagine, try to wrap your mind around what that was like. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. Try to wrap your mind around a plane landing in front of these people. These people ain't never seen no fucking plane before in their life. They ain't never seen a car. They ain't never seen none of that shit. They ain't never seen nothing. Imagine these people seeing a plane for the first time. It ain't gonna be like how it be like for us. Okay? So that's what happened with cargo coat. CARGO, like cargo pants. Cargo coat. I'm finna explain to y'all why they call it that. Cargo coat, the reason they call it that is because when this plane landed, it had a bunch of cargo on it. It had a bunch of like needs, like canned goods, might have been some flints, might just stuff that you will need, you know, in war, sustenance, okay? So when this plane crash landed to these people, the guys parachuted out of the plane, okay? So they landed in another place and the plane landed in a different location. But when the primitive people found the plane, they thought that it was sent by the gods. No, actually, I'm telling this story wrong. Actually, the white men one of them were on the plane. And when they thought that this was the gods. Okay. So the primitive people started bowing down and they started worshiping the plane. Okay. And what ended up happening, these people, watch this shit. 30, 40 years later go by and some people go back to visit the island. And when they go back to visit the island, these people had a full-on religion built around the plane. That's what they got cargo coat. That's what they call them, the cargo coat. These people built a full religion around worshiping this plane. Y'all understand that? These people were the same as the first earthlings, the first primitive earthlings. That's the Adamu, the Adapa. All of them was primitive earthlings. They were all the same like these people. So seeing these spaceships, seeing these planes had the same effect on those people. They didn't understand what they were seeing. They just knew that it was something bigger than them. It was something different. Okay? I know y'all like to think that humans have had common sense forever. That's the fucking problem. When you're trying to teach people how we get to this point, people have a hard time understanding there was a time where people didn't have this level of common sense. The common sense we got now came from the information age. The fact that we got the internet is downpouring information into us at all time. We always learning new shit, okay? They didn't have that back then. Shit, they didn't have that 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. They didn't have the internet like we got it now. People were not that smart 30 years ago, as smart as we are now, as informed as we are now. People were not like this, guys, okay? This is a new thing, okay? This is all new. So, these people, like I say, they ended up, worshiping these Anunnaki as a result of seeing some of the things that they had. So they thought that these were the gods. They thought these were the gods. So that's why that's why the people worshiping as gods, they had no choice but to believe that. Okay? After the Anunnaki as gods declared themselves on mankind's support, they instead are dependent. They need man, they need us. We need them, they needed us. In the first region to unify the lands under one leader, the Anunnaki decided. A warrior king they desired. Okay? So we're going to we back to the first region. This is the first region right here. This is the Enlil's region, okay? In the first region, to unify the lands under one leader, the Anunnaki decided. A warrior king they desired. To Inanna of Marduk, the adversary, the task of the right man to find they entrusted, okay? So over here in the first region, okay, Ninurta got a city over here. Inanna got a city over here. Nanar got a city over here. So they came to Inanna. They asked Inanna to find the right man to be the ruler of these lands. Now, I don't know why they picked Inanna. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? Okay, who thought that was a good idea to have Inanna making a decision? Oh, Lord have mercy. You finna see why this is a bad decision. A strong man whom on her journeys she had met and loved. Inanna to Enlil indicated. So they asked Inanna to pick a man to rule this land. Who she go find? A nigga she done fucked. What else would you think? A nigga she done had sex with, okay? That's how she decided who should rule these lands, by who got the best penis. I can't make this shit up. I'm sorry, I can't make it up. She decided the nigga that hit this meat the best is who I want to rule this land. A strong man whom on her journeys she had met and loved. To Enlil she indicated. Arbakad. 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 Of 4 garrisons the commander was his father. A high priestess his mother was. Scepter and crown Enlil gave him. They gave him the name Sharukin, righteous regent. Enlil appointed him. Okay? Righteous regent, Sharukin. As on Nibiru once was done, a new crown city, the lands to unify was established. A god, the unified city. They named it. It was not far from Kishi. It was located, okay? So a god is right here. Here you go right here. Kishi is located right here. There's Akkad, okay? Or you know it as Acadia, right? So some of y'all have heard of the Akkadians. This is what they talking about. You know how it is. Every time we talk about the Anunnaki, motherfuckers say, them the Akkadians. Y'all see, we just started to meet the Akkadians right now. This is the beginning of the Akkadians. So, like, folks need to stop saying that, bro. The Akkadians are one group of many groups. The Anunnaki are responsible for the Akkadians, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, right? The Kemites and the Nubians. They're responsible for all these groups. The Indus Valley region, the Pakistan, all these different groups are originated from the Anunnaki. Okay? By Enlil was Shuriken empowered. Inanna, with her weapons of brilliance, his warriors accompanied. All the lands from the lower sea to his throne obedience gave. All the lands from the lower sea, this is the lower sea right here, which is the Mediterranean. All the lands from the lower sea, from here to all the way over here. All right, so he was a ruler. So Akkad was the ruler of basically the Fertile Crescent. Okay. Oh, guys, I want y'all to know something. My information on the Amorites, 100% validated. I told y'all the Murs. I heard Jay-Z rap about the Amorites in a verse from way back. I think he was on a song with Jazz O, and he rapped about the Nubians and the Amorites. Yeah, I'm going to find that video for y'all and I'm going to post it. He rapped about the Nubians and the Amorites. And guess what? I've also heard a guy speak about the fucking Olmec for the Murs being Phoenicians. They were Phoenician Canaanites. I swear to God, all of this shit I've been told people. They were Phoenician Canaanites. Now watch this. This is also why we find all that ancient Phoenician in America. Put a 2 in the chat if you know we find the oldest Hebrew artifacts in America. Put a 2 in the chat if you know about that. Put a 2 in the chat if you know about that. This is why we find all the old Hebrew in America. The Phoenician Canaanite Amorites. Okay? Case closed, guys. Case closed, okay? The melanated folks was in the land in America before anybody. You had the black Indians and you had the black Amorites. You had black Indians and black Amorites. The Amorites became the Murs, which became the Moors. The reason why the Moors say they own America is because of the Amorites. That's why the Moors, they're telling you that we own America. We own America. That we named all of these places. They right. They swear to God they right. Swear they right. And the Indians, basically, the black Indians are saying we was here before y'all. Y'all came here after us, and they right. And the black Indians, didn't I tell y'all? And now watch this. Exactly, my brother. It's all coming together, Leo. Leo, it's all coming together, my brother. I'm telling you that my book is going to be off the chain. My book that I'm working on is going to be off the chain. So now, when I told y'all that the Olmec and the Indians went to war, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why the black Indians don't like the Moors. I don't know how the motherfuckers know, but they must can feel something inside of themselves because they actually warred. They went to war. It was a long time ago, but they actually went to war. All right, so let's get it. Let's go. So we're dealing with Akkad. At the borders of the 4th region, to protect it, his troops were stationed. With a cautious eye on Ra, Ra on Inanna, and Inanna and Shuriken constantly gazed. Then, as a falcon on his prey, he pounced. From the place where Marduk, the tower to heaven reaching, had attempted to build, sacred soul from there, a god did Shuriken move. Therein, the heavenly bright object to implant. Enraged did Marduk to the 1st region rush. With Nabu and his followers to the tower's place they came, okay? So listen, this is what's going on. Y'all remember when Marduk tried to build the Tower of Babel here in Babylon? When Marduk tried to build the Tower of Babel, he was using some kind of special soil. We still trying to figure out what's the significance of this soil. But it was something special about the soil that he was building the Tower of Babylon. I'm still trying to get an understanding on what was so special about the soil, but it was something, okay? So Akkad, who is now the ruler of the 1st region, right? And basically an enemy of Marduk. He says, fuck Marduk. I'm gonna go over here and use some of this soil, and I'm gonna build my own heavenly object. Okay? So he uses the soil and he puts an obelisk on the soil, on the sacred soil. This pissed Marduk off. So Marduk got in his truck, because y'all know Marduk got a truck. He probably got a goddamn Dodge Ram or some shit. Him and Nabu jumped in their truck and they drove all the way over here. And they got over here and they say, Akkad, bring your ass outside, because we got some beef. Okay? So Marduk want to know, why did he touch that sacred soil? He says, of the sacred soil, I alone am the possessor. By me shall a gateway of the gods be established. Something about this soil is helpful in the building of a stargate. Something about it helps, is necessary to build a stargate. Do y'all understand that? I don't know exactly what's in the soil, but it is something about it that is helpful in building a stargate. That's what the Tower of Babel was, if y'all don't know. The Tower of Babel was a stargate, okay? So did Marduk vehemently announce instructions to divert the river to his followers he gave. Dikes and walls in the place of the tower they raised. The Isagil, house for the utmost God for Marduk, they built. Something about it, my brother. I'm thinking it's something about the mineral content. Remember what I told you about quartz crystal? So, you know, that's saying it could have quartz in it. You feel what I'm saying? I know you're a smart brother. Me and you be on the same page. Something about that mineral content of that soil. Yeah, exactly. I know you know where I'm coming from. So now Marduk ran over here and say, nigga, I'm a rebuild the tower. Y'all done pissed me off. Now you done made me so mad. I'm a rebuild the tower. Right? So you got to remember, Enlil kicked his ass from over here. Told him, hey man, take your ass back to the land of the Nile River Valley. So now Enlil and now Marduk is coming back on some, hey man, y'all done disrespected me too much. I told y'all don't touch my soul. So now Marduk said, nah, you know what? I'm just going to build in the first region. Now this is equivalent to a high-ranking blood buying a house in a Crip neighborhood. Do y'all understand that? That's how I can try to make you understand. Imagine being a high-ranking blood and moving into a Crip neighborhood and building a house outside with all red on. It's going to cause some problems. It's going to cause some problems. Babili, the gateway of the gods. Nabu, in his father's honor, named it. They called it Babili. Okay? The first one was called the Tower of Babel. This one is called Babili. In the heart of the Eden, in the midst of the first region, Marduk established it himself. When Inanna found out, her fury knew no bounds. She was like, "Oh, that nigga Marduk, I hate that nigga." So like, shout out to you, D-Lynn, much love. So when Inanna heard that this nigga, because y'all got to remember, Inanna running shit in this region. Now, she got her own region over the third region. She ain't paying no attention to them folks. She like being over here, and she want that land that Marduk come from. But she like being over here. So now, Inanna like, oh, this bitch ass nigga got some nerve. Don't he know I want to kill him? And he came over to our neighborhood, set tripping. So Inanna mad. Inanna's fury knew no bounds. With her weapons on Marduk's followers, she inflicted death. Now she killing people. Marduk's followers always get the shitty end of the stick. That's the wrong dude to be following. The blood of the people as never before on earth like rivers flowed. Ooh-wee. She made the people's blood flow like a river, man. She destroyed these people. Marduk got these people killed. You know who Marduk reminds me of? Joe Biden. Joe Biden trying to get us killed right now. Joe Biden trying to force Russia to fucking launch a nuke. Okay? Leave them people alone, man. Get your ass on out of office before you get us killed, man. God damn. Then they just goddamn sent 50 billion. Right? Then they just sent 50 billion. Then they just proposed. Them motherfuckers just proposed. I can't find it. They just proposed to send $50 billion over there to Ukraine. That's how you know who was running the show. This is them saying, I know we ain't gonna be able to get no more money to Ukraine. Let's get it all to Ukraine right now while Joe still got 10 days left. Joe got 10 days left. And then guess what that motherfucker said? Not only, let me tell y'all how sneaky this government is. They ain't using money from Congress because Congress ain't giving them no more money. Guess where they getting the money from to send to Ukraine? Guess where they get the money from? They using dope money. They using drug money. They using seized money and drug money. They using money that they seized from Russians, from Russian businessmen, from drug lords. Ain't that some shit? Y'all know when the dope boys get pulled over and they be having all the millions of dollars on them, ain't they supposed to burn that money up or something? Them motherfuckers be using that money. They be using that money. Now they using that money to send over there to Ukraine. Now, I noticed they ain't say let's send 50 billion to North Carolina. Them folks done lost their whole town and city. You know, they ain't say let's send 50 billion to North Carolina. You know, to the people who bust their ass and went to war and fought for this country and died for this country. They ain't say do that. They say with 10 days left, let's send this money over to Ukraine. Joe Biden trying to get us killed, guys. And Marduk got his people killed. So they say the rivers, man, they say these people blood flowed like the river. Damn, can you imagine that? That's a literal explanation. That's literal. That's crazy. I'm having fun today. To his brother Marduk, Nergal to Babili came. So Nergal then showed up in Babili. Nergal is coming to beg Marduk to stop this shit. For the sake of the people, leave Babili, Nergal said. Please, man, for the sake of these people, man, you getting these people killed, man. Marduk says, no, Nergal tells him, let us peacefully wait for the true signs of heaven. Nergal said this, brother. Nergal is basically telling Marduk, man, wait your turn, bro. You trying to force it. It ain't your turn. To depart, Marduk agreed. From land to land, the skies to travel, the skies to watch, he traveled. Amun, as the unseen one in the second region, as Ra was henceforth called. For a while was Inanna appeased. Two sons of Sharukin, his peaceful successors were. Okay? So after Sharukin, he had two sons that succeeded him. Then on the throne of a god, Sharukin's grandson ascended. His name was Naram Sin, Naramsin. This is a very famous king in Akkadian, okay? Naram Sin, that was his celestial name. And that meant by sin, loved. Okay, y'all know who Sin is, right? Sin is Nanar. That's Allah. Remember I told you? Nanar is Enlil's second born son. Right? Nanar is Allah. Okay, that's who Nanar is. But his other name is Sin. Okay? And this guy's name is Naram Sin, which means by sin loved. So it means he was loved by Nanar. Okay? I'll read that over. Then on the throne of a god, Sharukin's grandson ascended. Naram Sin, by sin love, was he called. In the first region, Enlil and Ninurta were absent. So listen to this. So in his first region, right, this is Enlil's region, right? And when Enlil is not here, Ninurta is in control. But right now, Enlil and Ninurta is away. They over in South America, okay? Well, they over in other lands, all over the world, but we know they in South America, okay? Enlil and Ninurta absent. Word. To the lands beyond the oceans they went. They over in South America. In the second region, Ra was away. As Marduk in other lands he traveled. The devil went to and fro. Ain't that what they said? Didn't they say he went to and fro? This is the time Marduk is touring around. This is when he training people. Guess what? This is when he finds white folks. And he trains white folks to be his people. This is where he trains white. This is what he was doing when he was making his rounds. This is what he was doing. And he found white folks. He found them animalistic beings out there and he trained them. Okay? In the second region, Ra was away. That means he was away from the second region. And as Marduk in other lands, he traveled. So what y'all think he was doing in those other lands? When he was in France and he was in Europe and he was in Germany and he was in all of these other places, what y'all think he was doing? He ran up on the Neanderthals. He ran up on the Cro-Magnons. And when he ran up on these people, when he ran up on these Nordics and shit, the people that we call Vikings, he ran up on these people. They did not, guys, we got to stop thinking that these people had a special affinity for us. They didn't give a fuck who they was going to train. It could be the black folks, the white folks, the brown folks. They didn't care. They don't have an affinity for color the way we do. That's our shit. This thing we do about color, trying to be so supreme, trying to be the whole story. Them folks don't give a shit about that. They didn't look at the white man and make some distinction differently. These were some old people that they can train. This is where the white man enters the story. This is where he enters the story. Her chance in her hands to seize all power, Inanna envisioned. So listen to what I just told y'all. Enlil and Ninurta is gone. They over here in America. Marduk is gone. Okay? So all of the bosses is away. And what happens when the boss is away? The employees gonna play. Okay? Do y'all understand that now? Enlil and Ninurta is over on the other side. Ra is gone from his region. The only one that's left is Inanna. So Inanna said, hey, shit, these niggas gone. It's time for me to seize power. That's how her mind think. Didn't I tell you Inanna ended up opposing Enlil? This is what we're going to get. Well, we're going to be getting into this tomorrow. So now Inanna is in her mind thinking, okay, everybody's away. Now it's time for me to lay down my rule, for me to take over. Her chance in her hands to seize all powers, Inanna envisioned. Naram Sin to seize all lands she commanded. So now she done put a battery in Naram Sin's back and got him telling him, hey, we're going to go conquer all these lands. To march against Magan Mahula, which is Marduk's domains, Naram Sin she instructed. The sacrilege of an earthling army through the fourth region, Naram Sin committed. Now, y'all know that it's a piece of land that you're not supposed to go through. There's a piece of land that you're not. Which region is that? The fourth region, Tilmoon. Okay? So Inanna marched Naram Sin from way over here in the Fertile Crescent, and they came across here, guys, and they wasn't supposed to. What did Enlil say? This is off limits to all earthlings, no matter what. I don't give a damn if you with Inanna. Okay? Enlil's word was this is off limits to all earthlings. Inanna had Naram Sin march across this land. Okay? They marched across this land to get over to here. To march against Magan Mahula, Marduk's domains, Naram Sin she instructed. The sacrilege of an earthling's army through the fourth region, Naram Sin committed. He invaded Magan, the sealed Eker. Okay, that's basically Giza. He invaded the pyramids, which like a mountain is. To enter, he attempted. By the sacrileges and transgressions, Enlil was infuriated. Upon Naram Sin and a god, he placed a curse. By a bite of a scorpion did Naram Sin die. By the command of Enlil was a god wiped out. Enlil say, you ain't listen to me, you about to get fucked up. Oh, you wanted to listen to you. Oh, you done let Inanna got you fucked up. Y'all see how bad of an influence Inanna is? Inanna's a little evil ass broad. She evil. She got that man killed. No, she wasn't supposed to tell that man to go cross that land. So this is where I'm going to stop for today, because it's going to set us up for tomorrow. Okay? And we're going to be using the timeline tomorrow. Okay? So Enlil, the nurture, other side, Ra, all around the world, Inanna thought this was a good time for her to seize control. So she decides to put a battery in the back of Shahrukhin's grandson, Naram Sin, and had him march across the fourth region to do battle in the lands of Marduk. When Enlil got word that earthlings had crossed the fourth region, Enlil was furious, and he issued judgment. So he placed a curse upon Naram Sin, and he had him die by the bite of a scorpion. All right? So that's where we're going to stop today. Okay? Some good information. I can't wait to watch this one over, because I'm still learning too, guys. I'm still putting stuff together myself. I'm still learning. Okay? I hope everybody had a good time. I hope everybody learned something. If you got any questions, feel free. I will take questions at this time. But other than that, make sure you tapped into the UMF at UMF 5500. Tapped into the YouTube page so you can rewatch the classes, okay? So you can gather that information. But I hope everybody had a good time, guys. We're going to pump the brakes at for the day so y'all can go get y'all some good sleep, all right? Big shout out to J2. Much love, my brother. Much love. Feel free, guys. If any question I can expound on, I would try to. I know for some reason comments are getting blocked. We don't know why. We don't know why. Okay? So if you got anything, feel free to let it loose. And if I see it, I'll try to answer it. All right?